Why do audiology clinics recommend that you bring a significant other along to your hearing test appointment? Stick around because I'm going to give you the reasons for this sometimes rather confusing request. There is going to be a lot of information and some of it is quite technical and it's on a subject that you're likely to be unfamiliar with. So having that second set of ears allows you to remember more of the information. Other people around you are likely to be affected by your hearing loss and possibly even more than you are. By having them attend the appointment, we can, as audiologists, create a fuller picture of the hearing loss and how it affects you. And then we can ensure that we address as many of your hearing problems as we possibly can. I have had people share with me that it was their unwillingness to address their hearing loss that led to the end of their marriage. So in the vast majority of instances, I have found that spouses or partners have been very enthusiastic about attending hearing tests, fittings, and subsequent follow-up appointments. And in my experience, children want the priceless moments with their parents, not a slightly larger inheritance because their parents have failed to address their hearing health needs. If hearing aids were recommended, some of our patients, when it comes to spending what is potentially several $1,000s or pounds, would want to speak to their significant other before making this important decision. This is quite a challenge if they've not been part of the consultation. So you're then going to have to impart to them information about a subject that you're not familiar with someone else who's also not familiar with that subject. You may not have heard all the information, of course, and then this individual that you're relaying the information to help make you the decision or help make the decision with you may also have questions that you don't know the answer to that could have been addressed by being part of the initial consultation and having an opportunity to speak directly with the audiologist. Another reason you should bring a significant other along is when it comes to choosing the style of aid, they can look and see how the different hearing aids look when you've put them on and then give you some feedback on their appearance. I've had patients return hearing aids that they chose on their own because their spouse didn't like the appearance of them. And I've also had patients who've been reassured that their spouse or child or partner thought that the aid that they were trying was very discreet or stylish and then gave them the confidence to proceed. Another reason, the audiologist may give your significant other an opportunity to try and hear sounds how you do using a hearing loss simulator, which allows them to experience sounds in a similar way to the hearing impaired individual, which can be a really eye-opening experience and allow them to understand how you hear much more fully than using words alone. Often a hearing impaired individual's significant other will realize at this point why they were being ignored, or the person wasn't paying attention or were forgetful. They simply didn't hear what you said. This leads into communication tactics. With hearing aids being part of the answer, if you are hearing impaired, there are other things such as making sure that the individual with a hearing loss is paying attention before you begin to address them, that you minimize the noise wherever possible, that you face them where possible, you don't cover your mouth when you're speaking to them, that you rephrase rather than repeat, that you speak to them from the same room, and many more tips that we can give them. And this is hard to do if that person isn't part of the consultation. Now, if you're getting value at this point from this information, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of our future content. And please make sure to hit the like button so we get this information out to as many people as possible. Thank you very much. Now, assuming that you need hearing aids, the person that you need to prove that you can hear, more likely than not, is not going to be the audiologist. The audiologist will have been trained to speak clearly, so is actually the worst person that you would want to use as a familiar voice in a hearing aid demonstration. In one particular instance, I remember from many years ago, a lady said that her husband spoke very quietly. Now, I wondered if this was actually her hearing loss, but he actually did speak very softly due to a condition. And then we had to try a few different brands before we found one that made his speech clear. Accountability. Your audiologist can check that you have put the aids in, or can't check you've put the aids in person, whereas your significant other can. They can see if you've got them in correctly. Are you wearing them both together? Are you wearing them as per your audiologist's instructions and recommendations, not just when you need to? So the hearing aid manufacturer, the audiologist, your significant other, and everyone else you can speak with will all want the same thing, which is for you to be successful with your hearing aids. Maintenance. You may be taking your hearing aids with you on the day of your test, or a trial set with you while you wait for yours to come. Now, with some particularly waxy individuals who need to change their hearing aid wax filters more often than the average, having someone who is seeing how this works can be a real bonus. Help. Now, not all of our patients who we see as audiology professionals can put in their own hearing aids, can adjust them, can change batteries, change domes, connect TV streamers, connect to Bluetooth landlines, remember their Apple password so they can actually download the app you want to give them as the audiologist. So having that individual there, or individuals who can help with these things, is a real bonus. Encouragement. There may be days that you can't be bothered to put your hearing aids in, or find them frustrating as you're in the early stages of getting your brain reused to hearing sounds, but hearing them in a slightly different way. So having someone on your team who can encourage you to be persistent and remind you how far you've come can be a real key to success. Emotional support. As audiology professionals, we know for a lot of patients we meet, we have tools in our arsenal to make their lives and all of those people they communicate with better. But in order to get to this good news, we're often delivering bad news. And for some patients, this can be an emotional experience. So having someone with them who is a familiar face can be a great advantage. Now, I'm sure there are more. What reasons can you think of? Please make sure you share with them, with the community, by placing them in the comment section below. Have a fantastic rest of your day.